ain't yelling. She's not really yelling at you.
Exactly.
Ask my kids, right? And so they can avoid these pitfalls by bridging real gaps. When we're looking at, oh, we want to communicate better with you. My boss emailed me not too long ago and said, I want to know how to communicate with you. And I was like, I just like really clear and concise information. She did.
Love that. Yeah. I really like
I don't,
that.
yeah, and I'm like, I may not always have something to say in a meeting, but it doesn't mean that I don't care. It doesn't mean that so I was able to give her my truths about how to communicate with me and how I communicate. Everybody is not open to that, and people are scared to ask those questions. So again, to avoid these pitfalls, how to support themselves, understanding what and how people communicate. And just, if you don't know, then ask. And I think that's the way that organizations can do better there.
Yeah, that is good. I love that you say your supervisor reached out and asked that question, because it's important, because everybody communicates differently. And I was thinking about you the other day when I was in the store, because we had a conversation prior to this podcast, and I remember you said something similar to that, how Black women communicate differently. And it was two Black women in the store, and they were there like this, really talking about like how they were going to get this what they were like, they not selling that anymore. I can't believe that. And all I could do was giggle to myself. I was like, because that's what I would be thinking the whole time. But they're actually saying it, verbally saying it, because they're, so you know what, and I understood it. So it was like, oh my, why would they be saying it? I understood it. That's how they were communicating with one another, but that's how we communicate.
That's how we communicate. That's just how we do. We don't even have to know you to be communicating with you in a way that people are like, hey, do you know her? And you're like, no, I've never met that woman a day in my life. And people are like, well, how do you do? It's just inherited. It's because we don't come It's most times that it happens is because we don't come with those same barriers and biases that are afflicted against us in the workplace. That's why it looks the way that it does. That's why you don't have to know, because we're already open, and organizations need to also learn to do the same. That's why that communication looks like that with complete strangers, because we're coming into the room with everybody is, hey y'all, how y'all doing? We're not coming in with those barriers and biases.
Yeah, because that's who we are. I love that. So bringing that, and then, so how can organizations foster a culture of inclusivity and belonging for Black women, with just Black women in general? What do you think? What are some of the things you've done in the past or seen that was effective in your organization, that they including Black women or women of color?